One gets rung up by Justin McCarthy. Almost the same shot moments ago taken by Low Payton. This one finds rope.
McCarthy comes off a double screen, and Pollock will throw the ball inside. Pollock with a number of assists today. Watch the feed, watch the double little pick action right there. McCarthy, top of the screen, little burst of speed. So tough to cover inside because of his quickness and his size. Here it is again, Pollock with his head up, finds McCarthy, and the placement is perfect. Pollock gives him a little, McCarthy gives him a little point that, hey, that's your goal. But McCarthy using that interference in front, getting himself open, a crucial goal, puts the Shoremen up by 3.
Bieberbach in for Washington College as they try to figure out how to replace Greg Tomaso. Nazareth using Nadelin a lot in that position. Push call, gives the ball to Nazareth. They can't wait to reset. They want that ball moving. Rolling inside, double team, triple team, but coming out alive is Civilier. 3 goals now separate Washington College and Nazareth. A lot of time left. Civilier comes in, tries to just go over top of the sliding defenseman. Could be a crease violation. Michael Kent came sliding across there. Civilier did a nice job of just taking the stick over top of a pretty big defenseman.
Yeah, that way he almost folded his stick across his body to increase his angle. There's no way, as a right-hander there, you can afford to shoot sidearm. There's really not much cage to shoot at.
This is Michael Kent, sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia, throwing the ball beyond teammate King.
Nazareth pressing there in their 10-man ride where they'll shift up the field and put a lot of pressure. They'll try to put a man on everybody. And Jake Kuhn, their athletic goalie, comes out and plays an attackman. Look for them now. They're down by 3. They've got to start taking some defensive chances and picking the tempo of this game up. They will do that quite a bit.
Okay, Nazareth can score 3 goals pretty quickly, so that doesn't look like a huge mountain for them to climb. Close range, Tybel goes down, makes the big save, and almost goes beyond him. The defenseman got it back to him after he made the save. McGilvray put it right back to him. He wasn't quite set to catch it. Luckily, it was wide of the net.
2 great saves by Tybel. One a kick save and the other from a teammate. Dangerous. That is scary. You never want to shovel the ball back to the goalie that way.
Storr gets it behind, and here's a big target, Swift. He's playing a lot more minutes here late in the game.
He's their 4th attackman. Again, limited mobility because of a knee injury, but great stick skills. If they get the ball to him, he can shoot it.
Trying to burn some time. Doors behind. You know that Nazareth will be working hard to get the ball back. Doors looks for help. Shut off. Swift has a little bit of room, but gives it to the near teammate, Tyler Gilbert. Gilbert with his matchup against Al Torelli.
Gilbert beat Torelli earlier when Torelli lost his feet. It's a size mismatch. Torelli about 5'8", Gilbert, big kid, 6'2". See if he can use his strength.
Well, the Shoremen doing a good job of taking up some time on the clock, and that's what you've got to do, Quinn, right? If you can divide this last 10 minutes into like 3-4-minute sections, there isn't even that much time there. They will hold the ball.
They'll probably need 12, 13, probably about 13 or 14 goals to win this. So they can't totally stop their offense. They've got to keep attacking.
Swift takes a shot with not a great angle there. Pretty easy save for Kuhn. He is a top goalie, so you got to put a little bit of location on the ball than that. 3-goal lead. Nazareth, 2 guys coming out of the box, and Washington College just bounced on that ball. Bieberbach did a nice job. Good job of knocking the ball out of the transition. They both came out of the box, and look at that defensive check. Nazareth going wild. Right cross by Jeff Pross.
Pross, unbelievable.
He came on the
over
right
the
cross.
head check. Bieberbach made a great play, but Pross countered with the over the head check.
And he took his hand off the stick and had a right cross. It was kind of wild. Just swinging like a wild man. Stepping up the intensity, Torelli takes it down the offensive end. DeVoe back to his teammate, Civilier. 3 goals separate him, under 9. Lee Felsmo, Quinn Kesnick, ESPN2's coverage of championship lacrosse. This is Division III. Big time checks. And a long stretch here for Nazareth, not scoring. They haven't scored since the 7-minute mark. That's 8 and 5. It's 13 minutes.
13 minutes and 4 straight by Washington College. And as we get further along, we're almost halfway through this fourth quarter. Washington College will pull it out, try to eat up a minute or two on every possession.
Beautiful sight here at Rutgers. Next year, the year after, these championships go back to the University of Maryland. I think they come back in the new millennium back to this site. Crossing player, and that one finds rope. That is number 14, Justin McCarthy. Nice crossing feed. A 5-0 run by the Shoremen.
McCarthy from Pollock. They've scored 2. That combination has accounted for the last 2 goals. Again, another little look in front. They'll give each other a little eye contact, and McCarthy pulls the string on his defender and cuts quickly across the cage. You can see McCarthy still has his 100% speed here in the fourth quarter. Sometimes players will tire out. That time McCarthy, little quick stick. Kuhn got a piece of that. It hit his shoulder and then hit the top post and then dropped in. But McCarthy, 2 big fourth quarter goals, both assisted by Pollock. And the quickness of McCarthy has really been a factor in front.
Now here's J.D. Radeball. Technical a move on the faceoff, gave them possession. He immediately gives up to the wing. Good idea. Goes off the field, and they'll try to take off more precious time.
And Nazareth will now be very aggressive on the ball. They're going to be throwing the book at you. They'll throw all their checks. They'll extend their defense to the adjacent men, and they'll look to really take some chances defensively to try to generate the turnover. They're down by 4 now with 7.5 to go.
This is Bourget trying to play aggressively. Out front, big shot and easy save by Kuhn. Nice ball movement, gets the ball out front, and Wilson take a left-handed shot, ball loose again. Nazareth coming up cleanly. Over the head check and a foul called on John Fuller. Fuller came with the over the head hatchet move.
And we had a timeout by Nazareth. Let's see if the timeout was called before the foul. There's the flag. There's a foul on Fuller. That's Scotty Nelson, the Nazareth coach, who called timeout because he felt his player was in danger of losing the ball. And then Fuller came over and made the check. So we'll see if this will be a foul or not.
Well, the short timeout here. Don't forget on ESPN tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. The Sabres take on the Washington Capitals. We're talking about Eastern Conference Finals here. Buffalo leads 1-0 in the best of 7. Hasek 2-0 shutout. That was game 1. Tonight they go to game 2 on ESPN. Join us for our Stanley Cup playoff action, Eastern Conference Finals.
John Hawes and his Shoreman catch a break right there. The referees wave the flag off because Scott Nelson and Nazareth has called timeout prior to Fuller's foul. So there is no penalty. Look at the Golden Flyers, scoreless for nearly 15 minutes. And this is a high-powered offense. They average about 13 goals per game. They've got to get it going. One of the keys to this game, Tommaso, the face-off man for Washington College, did such a super job for 2.5 quarters, injured his knee early stages of the third quarter. And that's when Nazareth got back in this ballgame and actually took a 9-8 lead. Lately, though, the Shoremen have really figured out what's going on in the face-offs, and it's been about 50-50 in the past 5 or 6 face-offs.
Tommaso was so strong in that opening. When you look at the quarters, they really got that lead, 5-2 lead in the first quarter. That's the lead they've maintained. Now they've grown that to a 13-9. But Tommaso so important in those early possessions. John Haas showing himself as a complete coach, making the adjustments he needs to make. Nazareth, a very exciting team. Plenty of time left for this team to come back and score goals. They can do it quickly. They can do it in big bunches. Foley. Bounce shot. Wide of Tybalt. He got a hunk of it. And here's some pressure on him. He's way out of the goal right now. Look at the pressure by Nazareth to get the ball back.
Great job.
Yeah, everybody goes to the ball. DeVoe goes over there in the first outlet pass. DeVoe checks it out of bounds.
They are hustlers. This attack understands if they can generate turnovers in the defensive end when the other team's clearing, they're going to get some transition. They'll get more opportunities. Right there, a great example. They get to the end line, pressure Tybalt, and then they pressure. DeVoe pressures McGlone. The ball's on the ground. This is a second chance opportunity.
Nazareth now working into the middle of the field. Big checks on top of Dennis Foley. Foley's one that'll be marked very closely. A lot of attention given to him. Right-handed shot into the chest of Tybalt. Silvalier wanted to burn him there, couldn't do it. Here comes Bierbach. Bieberbach comes in, looks for feeds. No options there. Look at Nazareth giving him some checks.
And Coach Hawes, sensing Bieberbach was having problems, 6 minutes to go, wants to get his offensive players on, and he calls a timeout.
Well, he's got that lead. He wants to reset him. We'll reset also. 4-goal lead for Washington. 6 minutes left in this championship. Stay with us.
So I hear 10-10-3-2-1 can save me a lot of money.
Sure, you'll save 50% off every call over 20 minutes by dialing 10-10-3-2-1.
Does it matter when I call?
Nope. 10-10-3-2-1 saves morning, noon, and night.
Can it save over AT&T One rate?
Yep. 10-10-3-2-1 is always cheaper than AT&T One rate on every call over 20 minutes and on all calls all weekend.
Sounds too good.
Don't take my word for it. Just dial 10-10-3-2-1, then 1 and the number. You don't have to switch companies. So look for these savings on your phone bill.
I will.
You'll whistle too when you try Chili's Ranch Hand Filet. Slow grilled over an open flame for a bold outdoor flavor and placed on awesome blossom strings. Only at Chili's.
Most companies that make canopies for our nation's jet fighters look to this oil company for a critical component to make them bulletproof. So what kind of gasoline do you think this company would make? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
This is not about fashion. This is not about the love. This is not about a ring. This is about a jersey that keeps you from having to wear your own sweat the whole game.
Nike Fit Performance Apparel, the evolution of skin.
I take the position as being a role model very seriously, and I look forward to it every day. It's a challenge, and I like that challenge, and I accept it.
When we choose to be an athlete, we choose to be a good role model. I think the two go hand in hand.
And with the accolade, with the respect, and with the honor, and with the prestige that comes with being an athlete, there's also responsibility. I think that it's a fair exchange.
Six-goal lead for Washington College. Closing moments. They've got possession in their own end here at Rutgers Stadium. Leif Elsmo, Quint Kesnick, and John Hawes has done everything right. Pulled the right strings. He's had injuries. He's had injuries during the year, Quint. He's had injuries in this game, particularly to Greg Tomaso. That really could have hurt him.
They controlled the early stages of this game, and then they were trailing 9-8. Since then, Washington College has scored 7 straight goals. They were losing 9-8. It's been 7 in a row. Late stages of the third quarter, and they have dominated the first 12 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
All right, withholding the ball called on Washington College's Grothman. It'll go to Nazareth, but boy, they have an uphill climb here. Only 3:44 left. It's almost mathematically impossible, even for this great scoring machine. This is a team that likes to go at the goal, but I don't think enough time left to do it. Cavalier. Getting double.
The difference today, I think, guys like Cavalier, Serino, and McDermott really didn't play their A games today. I credit the Washington College defense.
They had a plan. No question they had a plan. They had McDermott playing more defense than he was playing offense.
They talked about that first midfield and their domination this season, but today they were held in check.
And speaking of checks, that was the best. Storr comes behind and puts it back on the green. Here comes McCarthy. He's going to take the left-handed shot. Icing on the cake for McCarthy. 16-9. Start the celebration. Shoreman, their first championship ever. You can bet it's going to happen now. And what a great moment for this program.
And McCarthy, what a great play. You look at him on the bench. They're absolutely loving life. McCarthy, 3 goals in the fourth quarter. Perfect placement on that shot.
Haas believes it now, and the crowd here to follow this Division III program. Really trying to get that. You talk about monkeys on your back. 2 straight years, sudden death losses. Maybe an overachiever. John Haas bringing these teams in, but he is at full control now.
Jeremy Storr to McCarthy. Right here, McCarthy takes an angle towards the middle of the field and then V's out right there. A little cutback, perfect placement, shooting for the pipe in that instance. That way, if it doesn't go in, it goes out of bounds, and you've got the guy backing it up. But look at the placement. McCarthy 3 goals in the 4th quarter. The junior, only 5'7", 155 pounds. The small man, there is a spot for the small man in lacrosse. You get the skills, you get a little quickness like McCarthy out of Haverford, PA. You can get it done.
Washington College starting to uncork the celebration. What a great moment for them. Announced crowd here, 14,000 and change. What a wonderful weekend that Phil Botafogo and the folks at the NCAA have put together. The championship weekend of lacrosse, including Division 1, 2, and 3. You are looking at the best in Division 3. J.D. Radeball, he'll have his own chance to take a shot. He's taking it wide. Everybody trying to get into it. 2:47 left. The separation of these two teams is a little bit surprising, 16-9. And it was that run you talked about, Quint, that made it a Washington College
It's been an
day.
8-goal run. This game looked to go Nazareth's direction. They trailed early. They went up 9-8. And it's tough to say what made the difference for Washington College. But the seniors and their veterans, Pollock and McCarthy, really have been the difference in the 4th quarter. McCarthy with those 2 goals to make it 12-9, 13-9. That really separated Washington College from Nazareth.
Nazareth driving in. McDermott trying to make an impact here late in the game. Big shot from the right side. Won't make much of a difference in the final score, but Cavalier finally gets this one past Andy Tybel.
That's their first goal since about midway through the 3rd quarter. Cavalier, nice shot here. Watch McDermott trying to penetrate against McCarthy. Finds Cavalier on the backside all alone. Tybel caught out of position a little there. Gave up a little too much on the near side. Cavalier showing some class, really not celebrating much. Upset his 25th goal of the season. Nazareth, they will be back.
Face off again with 32, Chris Nadelin, who's been out there a lot of the time, almost exclusively on the face-offs for the Golden Flyers. Here we go, pushing in, trying to get some more on goal. Petro, ball taken away and out of the goal. Tybel way outside. He'll look way upfield, passing to Storer, who's got a defenseman in front of him. If he wants to give it up, he's taking it himself. He's got some numbers down here. Looks to get it into the crease. Follow-up shot off the pipe. Push, loose ball, goes back to the Shoremen.
Exciting offense by Washington College. Really not their forte. Transition is not where they're most comfortable. But Storer did a great job getting the ball inside. A little nifty passing there. Taken out of the Nazareth playbook.
So let's see if they take any air out of it now. Washington College looking at a minute 25, as you can tell, before they start celebrating the first championship ever.
Hawes on the sideline. The clock didn't start with the whistle. He was jumping up and down. He wants the time taken off the clock. There he is.
John, calm down, buddy. It's not going to matter. You've got a 6-goal lead, John.
He's a competitor.
Jesus.
He was a winner as a player at North Carolina. They won 2 championships, 1981 and 82. And he coached at Hopkins. And now at Washington College has really revitalized this program.
Great storied past, and it's really, again, I'm kind of shocked to hear this is their first championship ever. So what a moment this will be. With just 1:12 left for them to start their celebration. It's been a hard fought one, right? 2 sudden death losses in a row. They'll all go away in about a minute, though, folks.
I'll never forget last year when Nazareth scored. The way the Washington College players just stayed exactly where they were on the field and just fell lifeless to the turf. It was a really emotional moment.
It was that same kind of aggressive play by Nazareth that got them those sudden death wins. They just never let up. They kept coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. Washington College came with a great game plan today and did everything they had to do with a team that was beat up all year and injured more in this game. Time winding down. Championship in store for Washington College. What a great year for the Shoremen. This is really something. Here they go. Time winding down. No doubt as who's winning this one. Nazareth not even challenging, accepting the fact that this year they will be second best. Not as dramatic as the last 2 years. The Gatorade parade on top of John Haas. He just got the shower. And he can believe it now. John Haas is going to take a championship. Not as dramatic as the sudden death, but every bit as important. Washington College wins their first championship in history. This school has gotten the monkey off their back. Finally, they beat Nazareth, a team that has beaten them in 2 sudden deaths this year. The Shoremen from Washington College, the 1998 Division III national champions. Tybel was sensational in the goal. The defensive plan was magnificent. John Haas pulled all the right plugs and made all the right decisions, and Washington College wins the championship.